If you assumed that the AFC and NFC championship games may have affected the price of certain football cards, well, you would be right. But it's not just football cards on today's top 5 list. We've got basketball and baseball as well, and we'll tell you which ones are going up the most now. Hello, sports card investors, and welcome to another Top 5 Tuesday. Hopefully you are rested up from a great weekend of football. I am still resting up from an incredible trade night here at Cards HQ Saturday night. We were absolutely packed. It was so much fun, but that's not what we're here to talk about today. We are here to talk about the sports card market and the cards that are going up and down the most. And of course, today's top 5 is sponsored by Whatnot. Whatnot has awesome live auctions every day and night starting at just $1 for packs, boxes, breaks, singles, and more. It's a lot of fun, and if you scan the QR code on your screen or use the special link in our show description below, you'll get $15 in free credit when you sign up for Whatnot. All right, let's start the show by looking at the overall sports card market with the Market Pulse by Market Movers, and this isn't good. Over the last 7 days, the SCI 500 index of the 500 most prominent sports cards dropped down 1.8%. That's actually a big drop in a 1-week period. That means that we had some low auction results, unexpectedly low auction results that happened over the last week. Over the last 30 days, the index is now down, and it's down on the year as a result. Not wonderful to see, but there have been some bright spots. The best performing category has been vintage basketball. Vintage basketball cards are doing really well right now, whereas older soccer cards, well, actually from 2010 through 2017 is the worst performing of the markets. That has not been particularly good as of late. But now let's talk about the individual cards that are going up and down the most. It is time for today's top 5. We're starting today's list with a cold card. We do this every week because it's a reminder that often the hot cards we feature on this show, they can quickly turn cold. So you don't want to necessarily invest when a card is hot. You kind of want to invest before it gets hot, because when they're hot, they can sometimes come down. And that is the exact case, unfortunately, with Jared Goff's cards. Jared Goff is our cold card of the week. Look, the Detroit Lions fans got about 4 months of excitement and Jared Goff's card prices going up before their world all came crashing down. Obviously, people had very high expectations for the Lions this postseason. They were the number 1 seed in the NFC, but then they ultimately lost to the Commanders 45-31. And now, to make matters worse, the following week after that game, they lost both of their head assistant coaches, their offensive coordinator and their defensive coordinator. They have both moved on to other teams to become head coaches. Jared Goff was in the MVP discussion at points this season, but ultimately he struggled against the Commanders, committing 4 turnovers in that game. So now all of a sudden, the Lions' future is maybe looking a little more rocky, certainly than it did just a few weeks ago. And that is not good news for Jared Goff's card prices. Let's take a look here in Market Movers. And I've got 4 of Jared Goff's rookie cards up on the screen. This is his 2016 Optic Holo. We're going to look at that one in PSA 9. We're going to look at his 2016 Prism Silver in raw condition. We're going to look at his 2016 Donruss base card in PSA 10 condition and his 2016 Optic Purple in raw condition. And then finally from 2024, we're going to look at his Micro Mosaic Super Short Print out of 2024 Mosaic. We'll look at that one in raw condition. And they all tell a similar story. If you look at the chart over the last 30 days, all of these cards moving down, really ever since that Commanders loss, those have fallen and fallen fairly hard. Over the last 30 days, these cards are all down anywhere between 10% and 53%. The 2016 Optic Holo PSA 9 has dropped from around $70 down to around $36. The 2016 Prism Silver in raw condition was $65. Now it's around $30. The 2016 Donruss base in PSA 10 was $92. Now it's $72. The Optic Purple in raw dropped from $28 down to about $25. And the Micro Mosaic raw from 2024 dropped from $149 down to $114. I wouldn't be surprised if these all continue to fall a little bit further as we continue on to the offseason now that his coordinators are gone and the outlook for the Lions isn't going to be quite as good next season. Sad moment here for Jared Goff collectors. But now let's talk about cards going up, and we're going with one of my favorites. It's our investment card of the week, and this week it is John Elway, and specifically John Elway's 1984 Topps rookie card. I grew up when John Elway was becoming a legendary quarterback. I used to love to watch him with the Denver Broncos in their early days, and of course in their later days as well when they went on and won a couple of Super Bowls. Elway was with the Broncos for 16 years. He led them to 5 Super Bowl appearances, and it was late in his career that 2 of those Super Bowl appearances actually turned into Super Bowl championships. Elway won the NFL MVP in 1987. He was a 9-time Pro Bowler, and he was named to the NFL's 100th anniversary all-time team. Of course, he then, after retiring, got involved in the Broncos front office as well, and he is now a member of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. This is John Elway's 1984 Topps rookie card. Now, this is, kind of the beginning of the junk wax era, so these cards aren't hard to find, but they are hard to grade. So the total population on this card in PSA 10 here, according to Market Movers, is only 191. So that actually makes it a relatively rare but important rookie card. And we're going to look at that in PSA 10. We're going to look at that in BGS 9.5, BGS 9, and also BGS 10 Pristine, which is even more rare. And we're looking on the chart over the last 365 days, and you can see these have all done quite well in the market over the last 365 days. They're up anywhere between about 16% and all the way up around 26%. The PSA 10 of his 1984 Topps rookie card has jumped from around $6,950 all the way up to $8,400 over the last 30 days. The BGS 9.5 has gone from a little over $1,000 up to close to $1,200. The BGS 9 from $340 up to $400. And then finally, the BGS 10 Pristine. A year ago, that card was $10,800. It most recently sold for $13,500. Been a pretty strong year for John Elway's rookie card. But now let's talk about players playing today, and in the number 5 spot today, it is Cooper Flagg, the young guard for the Duke Blue Devils. The Blue Devils have been on a roll. They've won their last 14 games, and a lot of that winning streak can be attributed to the stellar play of their freshman, Cooper Flagg. Flagg was the number 1 overall recruit of the 2024 class, and he has established himself as one of the nation's best young basketball player. He is currently leading the team in multiple statistical categories, and he is projected to be the number 1 pick in the 2025 NBA draft. He has already secured some notable NIL deals with Gatorade and Fanatics as well. So right now, all things looking up for Cooper Flagg, including his cards. Now, he doesn't have many cards, but he does have this card. This is his 2024 Bowman U Now card. When he made his debut with Duke, Bowman U Now printed this card. Some of these have been graded PSA 10, and that's what we're going to look at here. And then we're also going to look at the blue variation of this card, number to 49, kind of a color match blue variation. We'll look at that in raw condition as well. And you can see on the chart, these have all been moving up as he's been playing very, very well over the last year, or I should say over the course of this season, a few months now. The PSA 10 of the base version of that Bowman U card, 30 days ago, you could have scooped it for $70. Now it's a little bit over $91. And how about the raw version of the blue out of 49 of that card? 30 days ago, somebody paid $306. Most recent sale was $700. So that one has jumped up quite a bit. Now, Cooper Flagg doesn't have many cards now. He will have more cards, certainly as the next year goes on. So keep an eye on them. They're probably going to be pretty hot. Let's go from college basketball to college football. And the number 4 card on today's list is Quinton Judkins, the running back for the Ohio State Buckeyes. Now, we all know Ohio State won the national championship this year, and Judkins was a big part of that. He was part of a dual-headed monster for the Buckeyes in their backfield. And in the national championship game, Judkins shined in particular. He found the end zone 3 different times in that game while compiling 121 yards from scrimmage. On Friday, Judkins announced that he would forego his last year of college eligibility and he would enter the NFL draft. So we're going to hear Judkins' name called this April when the NFL draft comes around. And surely when that happens, it will cause some new interest in his cards. So certain football card collectors and investors are getting ahead of it, and they are buying his Bowman Chrome University cards right now, and the prices are going up. Let's take a look here in Market Movers, and you can see what this chart has looked like over the last 30 days. And this is his 2024 Bowman Chrome University card that we're looking at. We're going to look at the Prospect Auto version of that card in raw condition. We're also going to look at the Gold Shimmer Refractor version of that card in raw condition, as well as the green refractor. The Gold Shimmer, by the way, is numbered to 50. This green refractor is numbered to 99 in raw condition. And then finally, the orange refractor, numbered to 25. All of these are the auto cards. This one we're going to look at in raw condition as well. And over the last 30 days, since that championship occurred, these are all up quite a bit. They're up anywhere between 28% and 111%. The base Prospect Auto from 2024 Bowman Chrome U raw has jumped from $12 up to $25 over the last 30 days. The Gold Shimmer has jumped from $45 up to $95. The green has jumped from $25 up to $32, and the orange has jumped from $67 up to $100. Quinton Judkins cards, they've been on quite the run. We're going to stick with football for the number 3 card today, but let's go to the NFL, and we're going with Mike Evans, the wide receiver for the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Now, the Buccaneers unfortunately had a quick exit from the playoffs. They ran into Jaden Daniels and the Commanders, but hey, the Bucs gave them a better game than the Detroit Lions did, right? So they have that. But what caught the attention of football card collectors and investors is that Mike Evans reached the 1,000-yard mark for an 11th consecutive year, tying Jerry Rice for the all-time NFL record. And at any time it is just you and Jerry Rice holding an NFL record together, you know you're pretty good, right? Mike Evans was the 7th overall draft pick many years ago, and over the course of many seasons, he solidified himself as one of the NFL's premier receivers. By the way, 2014, that's when he was drafted in the NFL draft. That's when his rookie cards are from. And there's renewed interest in him. People are realizing Mike Evans is a Hall of Famer. He's got kind of one of the best that we've seen, certainly over the last decade, at the wide receiver position, and his cards are finally starting to get a little bit of respect. Let's look here in Market Movers. Let's look at his 2014 Topps Chrome Refractor PSA 10 card. Let's also look at his Topps Chrome Base PSA 10 card from 2014 Topps Chrome. We're going to look at his 2014 Prism Base card in PSA 9 condition, and then finally his 2014 Bowman Chrome Refractor in PSA 10 condition. And you can see all of these up quite a bit over the last 30 days there on the chart. In fact, these cards are up anywhere between about 36% and 105%. The refractor version of his 2014 Topps Chrome PSA 10 jumped from around $89 up to $136 over the last 30 days. And the base card from 2014 Topps Chrome in PSA 10 jumped from $70 up to $95. The Prism base in PSA 9 jumped from $22 up to $45, and the Bowman Chrome Refractor in PSA 10 2014 jumped from $115 up to $160. Nice to see Mike Evans cards doing so well. Let's turn our attention to baseball for the number 2 card today, and it is Junior Camero, the third baseman for the Tampa Bay Rays. Now, believe it or not, spring training is just around the corner, and one of the names that you're going to hear talked about the most this year will likely be Junior Camero because of what he just did in the Dominican Winter League. Now, last season for the Rays, Camero was a little bit up and down, but man, he really put it together during the Dominican Winter League, batted over 400, batted at 448 in the semifinals of that league. He was the MVP of the semifinals. And then in the championship game, which just happened last night, he hit a home run to help his team win the championship. And he took a minute to trot around the bases in celebration. It capped what was an absolutely incredible performance through the entire Dominican Winter League, and certainly a lot of people will be excited as a result about Camenero's cards heading into the next Major League Baseball season. You can imagine this means that his card prices are already starting to go up. Let's take a look here in Market Movers. We've got some of his 2023 and 2024 cards up on the screen. This is his 2023 Bowman Chrome Prospect Auto. This is his first Bowman Auto, PSA 10 condition we're going to look at. We're also going to look at that card. We're going to look at actually the Mega Box Mojo Refractor version of that card in raw condition with the auto. Then we're going to go to his rookie cards in 2024. We're going to look at his Topps Chrome Black rookie card in raw condition. We're going to look at his Topps Chrome rookie autograph in raw condition as well. We're going to look at the number to 199 from Sapphire Edition autograph in raw condition. And then finally, we're going to look at his Purple Speckle from 2024 Topps Chrome Update Refractor Auto number to 299 in raw condition. So a whole smattering of Junior Caminero cards here, and they are all up, as you can see on the chart, over the last 30 days. By the way, they probably will go even more up this week after what happened yesterday. But these cards already are up anywhere between 9% and all the way up at 96%. My goodness. The PSA 10 of his first Bowman Auto from 2023 has jumped from $198 to $330. And the raw of the auto from the mega boxes has jumped from $29 up to $50. 2024 Topps Chrome Black Autograph Raw has jumped from $43 up to $50. And his 2024 Topps Chrome Rookie Autograph Raw has jumped from $38 all the way up to about $75. Number to 199 from Topps Chrome Autograph Raw has jumped from $105 up to $153. And then finally, Purple has jumped from $64 up to about $70. All kinds of different variations here. Anyway, the bottom line of this story is that if you have any Junior Caminero card, it just got a lot more valuable. So go get it out of your album or go find it in your card box. You're going to want it because his cards, they are going up right now. All right, it is time for today's number one card. But before I give it to you, let me remind you that all of the charts and graphs from today's show are from Market Movers. Market Movers is the best way to track sports card prices, to comp your cards, and to track the value of your collection. And you can use it for free. Just go to sportscardinvestor.com and click Market Movers in the main menu bar, or you can go to the App Store on your phone and download the Market Movers app to your phone right now to give it a shot and get started. I think you are going to love Market Movers. All right, here we are. Number one card this week. He was a quarterback who had a lot of success this last weekend, put up a lot of touchdowns, led his team to the Super Bowl. Nope, not Patrick Mahomes. The number one card this week is Jalen Hurts, coming off that absolute dismantling of the Washington Commanders to lead the Eagles to their second Super Bowl appearance in the last 3 years. Jalen Hurts delivered a stellar performance in that game. He threw for 246 yards and a touchdown, also rushed for 3 touchdowns. He seems to be back fully. He had some injury scares and concerns that maybe limited his play a little bit in recent weeks, but he seems to be fully back, which is good. He's going to be healthy going into the Super Bowl. And he is going to be the first quarterback since Jim Kelly in 1992 to return to the Super Bowl after losing his Super Bowl debut. That hardly ever happens. But hopefully, unlike Jim Kelly, hopefully Jalen Hurts will walk out of the Super Bowl with a victory. But we'll see. Patrick Mahomes is certainly going to have something to say about that. But based on the great performances he's had, people are scooping his cards up, and you can imagine the prices are flying. Look at this chart in Market Movers to tell the story. These are 6 of his rookie cards. We've got his 2020 Prism base card in PSA 10 that we're going to be looking at here on the chart. We got his 2020 Donruss base card in PSA 10. We've got his 2020 Optic base card in PSA 10. His Optic Holo in PSA 10 as well. We're going to go to his 2020 Phoenix Fireburst. I actually really like this card. I like these Phoenix designs. I think they're kind of underappreciated. What do you guys think? Let me know in the comments. That's his Fireburst PSA 10. And then finally, back to 2019. This is his Select XRC, his redemption pre-rookie card. PSA 10 from 2019 Select. I think that's a really good looking card too. Just my opinion on those cards. Last 30 days, the chart looks really good. The numbers look really good. These cards are up anywhere between about 20% and all the way up at about 84%. His Prism-based PSA 10 in the last 30 days has jumped from $40 up to $74. His Donruss-based PSA 10 has jumped from around $29 up to $46. His Optic base has jumped from $40 up to $60. His Optic Holo has jumped from $142 up to $182. His Select XRC Prism has jumped from $350 up to $465. And his Phoenix Fireburst jumped from $30 up to about $47. All of those in PSA 10 condition. Nice to see, and who knows, these might inch up a little further as we get closer to the Super Bowl, and then we'll have to see how that game turns out and where these cards go from there. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed watching today's Top 5. Don't forget to get that Market Movers app. Go to your phone, download Market Movers from the App Store. If you already have it on your phone, open and back up. There is a wealth of information for you inside. And by the way, we're constantly improving it. It gets better and better every single week. So check that out. We appreciate you guys watching. If you enjoyed the episode, hit like, hit subscribe, and we'll see you soon with our next one. Take care, everybody.